Kevin Costner is one of the most respected figures in American cinema, not because his life was easy, but because it never was. He played love with quiet strength in The Bodyguard, inspired belief and hope in Field of Dreams, and forever altered Hollywood's understanding of storytelling when he directed and starred in Dances with Wolves. His presence on screen was never loud or flashy. It was steady, grounded, and human. Behind the calm confidence audiences admired lived a man who had endured loneliness, loss, doubt, and repeated reinvention. Fame gave him recognition, wealth, and power, but it never shielded him from pain. Marriages ended, homes fell silent, criticism turned cruel, and success demanded more than it ever promised to return. Now in his 70s, Kevin Costner stands not as a flawless icon, but as proof that endurance matters more than perfection, and that continuing forward can be the bravest act of all. Childhood rooted in instability and quiet strength. Kevin Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Lynwood, California, into a working-class family that knew struggle intimately. His father, Bill Costner, worked long, exhausting days repairing power lines, often returning home physically drained, but committed to providing stability where he could. His mother, Sharon, was a social worker who spent her days supporting others through crisis before coming home to care for her own family. 2 years before Kevin was born, his parents lost a newborn son, Mark, a tragedy that reshaped their household in ways that were never openly discussed. Grief lingered quietly in the background, creating an emotional distance that Kevin sensed even as a child. Love existed, but it was cautious, guarded by the fear of loss. That unspoken sorrow taught Kevin early on that life could change without warning, and that strength often meant carrying pain silently. Growing up, always moving, always adapting, Kevin's childhood was defined by constant movement. His family relocated frequently across California, chasing work and the promise of stability that always seemed just out of reach. Each move meant leaving behind friendships before they could deepen and starting over in classrooms where he felt unseen. He was shy, reserved, and rarely noticed by teachers or peers. Popularity never found him, and he learned to observe rather than speak, to imagine stories rather than share them. While other children formed lasting bonds, Kevin grew used to temporary connections. Church choir became one of the few places where he felt acknowledged, where his voice mattered, even briefly. Those early years taught him resilience, patience, and the ability to endure discomfort without complaint. By the time he graduated high school, Kevin had already learned how to survive instability, loneliness, and emotional uncertainty, skills that would later shape both his career and his private life. Choosing the uncertain path over comfort. After college, Kevin Costner did what many believed was the responsible thing. He earned a degree in marketing and finance, secured a steady office job, and married his college sweetheart, Cindy Silva. From the outside, his life appeared stable and sensible. Yet internally, he felt disconnected from himself. The predictability of corporate life drained him, leaving him restless and unfulfilled. During his honeymoon, a chance conversation with actor Richard Burton became a turning point. When Kevin shared his secret dream of acting, Burton encouraged him without hesitation. That moment gave Kevin the courage to face what he had been avoiding. He left his job, knowing many would see it as reckless, and committed himself fully to a future that offered no guarantees. Rejection, poverty, and the long wait for belief. Hollywood did not reward Kevin Costner's bravery with immediate success. Instead, it tested him relentlessly. He worked odd jobs just to survive, cleaning boats, driving trucks, and leading tours of celebrity homes while struggling to afford his own rent. Casting calls ended in rejection, sometimes without him even being seen. He walked long distances to save money, endured cold nights in underheated apartments, and questioned his choices more times than he could count. Early film roles offered little reassurance, and when scenes he filmed were cut entirely from The Big Chill, he watched the premiere knowing the audience would never know he had been part of it. Years passed like this, marked by disappointment and quiet perseverance. What kept him going was not optimism, but endurance. He had learned long ago how to start over, and he refused to let failure define him. The door finally opens with persistence. In 1985, after years of struggle, Kevin's persistence was finally rewarded when he was cast in Silverado. This time, he stepped in front of the camera with the focus of someone who understood how rare opportunity could be. Audiences noticed his quiet intensity, and Hollywood took note. Success did not arrive overnight, but momentum began to build. He followed with The Untouchables, a film that showcased his restrained strength and earned widespread acclaim. For the first time, Kevin felt seen, not just as an actor, but as a presence capable of carrying meaning. Recognition brought relief, but it also introduced pressure. Expectations replaced invisibility, and he now had something to lose. Becoming a symbol of hope on screen, the late 1980s transformed Kevin Costner into a cultural figure. Bull Durham connected him with sports fans, while Field of Dreams elevated him into something larger than a movie star. His performance resonated deeply, reminding audiences of belief, redemption, and the quiet power of hope. The famous line, "If you build it, he will come," became a cultural touchstone. Yet Kevin did not want to stop at acting. He wanted to tell stories that mattered. That desire led him to the greatest risk of his career. Defying Hollywood with Dances with Wolves. In 1990, Kevin directed and starred in Dances with Wolves, a project many studios dismissed as impractical and risky. A long western partially spoken in the Lakota language defied every commercial expectation of the time. Production challenges were immense, and financial pressure mounted. Kevin invested not only money but his reputation, knowing failure could end his career. When the film was released, it did more than succeed. It transformed the industry. Winning 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, it validated Kevin's belief that honest storytelling still mattered. Yet triumph brought new weight. Success amplified scrutiny, and every future decision became a test he was expected to pass flawlessly. When success turns into public punishment, at the height of his fame, Kevin Costner faced a turning point that nearly broke him. Waterworld became a symbol of excess and risk in the public eye, despite the genuine effort and danger involved in its production. Near-death experiences on set were ignored as headlines focused on budget overruns and mockery. Later, The Postman faced harsh criticism, further damaging his reputation. Hollywood, once welcoming, became distant. Offers slowed, and silence returned, this time louder and more painful than before. Yet Kevin did what he had always done. He endured. He returned with Open Range, a quiet, character-driven film that restored respect and reminded audiences of his sincerity. Reinvention through Yellowstone and New Purpose. When many believed his era had passed, Kevin found new life through Yellowstone. As John Dutton, he embodied resilience, loyalty, and moral complexity. The role resonated deeply with audiences, making the show one of the most watched dramas on television. At an age when many actors slow down, Kevin experienced renewal. He used that momentum to pursue Horizon, a deeply personal project he funded largely himself. He no longer measured success by applause alone, but by integrity and purpose. Risk no longer frightened him. Stagnation did. Love, marriage, and the cost of ambition. Kevin Costner's personal life reflected the same tension as his career. Deep love challenged by distance and ambition. His first marriage to Cindy Silva lasted 16 years and produced 3 children. Cindy supported him through obscurity, rejection, and uncertainty, often carrying the weight of family life alone while Kevin worked. As fame grew, so did the strain. Time apart, constant travel and emotional distance eroded their bond. Their divorce in 1994 was painful and public, but they chose mutual respect, prioritizing their children above resentment. Kevin later acknowledged that success came at a cost he did not fully understand until it was too late. Fatherhood beyond romance. After his divorce, Kevin became a father again under unexpected circumstances. His son Liam was born in 1996, and Kevin accepted responsibility fully, ensuring presence, stability, and care. This chapter of his life was quiet, defined not by headlines, but by accountability. Fatherhood grounded him during a time of emotional uncertainty and reminded him that even when relationships end, responsibility remains. A second marriage and another lesson in balance. Kevin later married Christine Baumgartner, with whom he shared nearly 2 decades and 3 children. For a time, their life offered the stability Kevin had long sought, yet career demands resurfaced, pulling him away once again. Over time, differing needs created distance, and their marriage ended in 2023. The separation was painful in public, but Kevin emphasized respect and co-parenting. The loss reinforced a truth he had faced before. Success cannot replace presence, and ambition must be balanced carefully with love, loss, grief, and the weight of time. As Kevin aged, loss became more frequent. The deaths of his parents marked the end of a foundational chapter, leaving a quiet absence only a child can understand. The passing of Whitney Houston affected him deeply, reminding him of vulnerability behind talent. Friends, collaborators, and mentors faded from his life, one by one. These losses reshaped his understanding of time and purpose. Grief softened him, deepened his empathy, and influenced the stories he chose to tell. Health, aging, and legacy. At 70, Kevin Costner continues working despite physical strain and fatigue. Age has slowed him, but not stopped him. He divides his time between his ranch in Aspen and his coastal home in Santa Barbara, finding peace in simplicity. More than wealth or recognition, family matters most now. As a father of 7, he strives to remain present, aware that time cannot be reclaimed. He understands that legacy is not built through awards alone, but through resilience, honesty, and showing up again and again. A life defined by endurance. Kevin Costner's life is not a story of uninterrupted triumph, but of persistence through loss, failure, and reinvention. He has risen, fallen, and risen again, each time carrying the lessons of the past. His true legacy lies not in box office numbers or statues, but in endurance, the ability to continue when the world turns away. He once said that success is simply showing up again. At this stage of life, that belief defines him more than ever. Older, wiser, and still standing, Kevin Costner remains a testament to the power of resilience and the quiet courage to keep going.